Guinan is really, really important.
Always was playable.
Yeah, me too, but he's not really a fighter. He's all politics.
Besides, stuff happens to him.
Whoa, Jenna, let's not talk about that.
The Grado.
He is
Grado.
another URTD, so this asshole, David, he's the last one, the 669, so that number's on his hand. Is everyone okay? Okay. Be happy, friends. He and Junior escaped the Milton conflict together and started the Kukai Foundation under false names. So his name's actually Negredo. And Junior's full name is Guinan Kukai Jr. because he's posing as his adopted son, which I laugh at so hard. I'm like, you're just so desperate not to be straight.
Try to remember you're older than me.
Yes.
I love that line.
He is the sweetest little thing ever. He's so... I'm gonna do it again. This is what happens at Acen. I just kind of put my head down. I'm like, he's the political force of the Kugai Foundation. He's like very cool and suave. He's always trying to like look cool, but he's like one of those people who looks cool but is actually just a math dork. He's really just very adorable, but very lonely because Junior and Albedo. What? Oh, okay, we're good. We're doing good. So he's always kind of lonely and wrapped with painful burdens that he fights to control. I can't really say it because spoilers.
He's very useful to me.
He's just the sweetest thing. Have I mentioned that? Get your tissue box ready. Yes. Yes, I saw somebody did a really nice essay on that. There's not only are there names and like appearances supposed to be like the alchemy processes thing, but it's also supposed to be the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse because there's also Citrine in here, and we'll get to Citrine and Albedo later. Citrine core simple. I can go on and on about Guinan. Somebody help me! I'm like just gonna cry here. A lot of Guinan is a lot of.
He's just reading and then some terrible
bad things happen. But yeah, he's just kind of always struggling with kind of feeling left out too. But he's such a good guy that he doesn't really say anything about it. He's just like, I'm just gonna make everyone else happy.
Some stuff that happens later than sorry.
Thanks, Tony. Sorry. I'll go on before I just start crying forever.
We're gonna talk about Guinan forever.
And yeah, a lot of it is spoilers. A lot is spoilers. He has daddy issues. We'll just leave it at that. And the saddest ending. When the grief lets you go, just listen to that song. That's all you need to know. All right.
Albedo, no more!
Hey, he gets ahead.
Everybody loves Albedo. All right. 667. He's Junior's twin brother. Like, they're not just clones, they're actually brothers. They were conjoined twins. I hope you guys can stomach some incest. That's the... He's just... he was always unstable because he's immortal, and he realized that he was the only one.
And he shot up his own head and was like, oh, okay,
He did that to him, right over like, no! And then he gets really upset, and he gets even more, like, he was always, like, clingy and crybaby because he, like, kind of, like, was just, he's always been, like, really obsessed with Ruby Doe. And then it just got worse and worse and worse. And then he came into contact with Udo.
And that pushed him over the edge.
And pushed him over the edge, and
He's the sweetest making a deal with the devil. I love that line.
Such he's obsessed, so obsessed with Ruby Doe to the point where, like, if they don't have a connection to Ruby Doe, he honestly does not really care. Again, incest. Sorry.
Oh boy.
Yep. He's essentially an antagonist, but that role is iffy sometimes.
Especially in episode 3.
Especially in episode 3. He has also a tragic backstory. And you can kind of understand where he is. It doesn't make me as forgivable, but he's complicated.
I cried at the end of episode 1 when he was like with Momo and everything and the things he was doing.
Oh, God.
No, we're not going to talk about Bob Belpash.
Let's not talk about that.
We're not talking about that.
Oh yeah, man. I
God,
told you about.
last time I watched it, like the latest playthrough, I like had to stop. Like I was sick to my stomach. Which leads me into my big point about Albedo is, for all of you new people, please be careful when going into this game if you have triggers. A lot of stuff he does is pretty messed up and grotesque. More than enough to warrant an M rating, which is pretty much why it got censored to all hell in America. he has a lot of physical abuse and verbal abuse and just even kind of sexual assault kind of with Junior and kind of with Momo too.
No.
So it's just be really careful. That's all I'm saying is he's a really interesting character and deserves a lot of thought. But just everybody tread with caution. I don't want to accidentally get someone into a situation where they're uncomfortable because there's a lot of like uncomfortable things about him.
Yeah. No, that's one guy I wouldn't want to run into in a dark alley.
Oh no. And that's exactly what happens to Momo.
Hit me.
I think I'm just gonna turn this over to her right now.
See, now I'm gonna be the one. Okay.
She can go on and on.
Yeah.
Don't spoil though.
Yeah, a lot of things about Dimitri is spoilers because he doesn't really actually appear in the game until around episode 2, in which he actually he's mentioned twice in episode 1's database. He's the genetic father of the UR2B. They're all clones of him. In the last 4, the variants are like altered clones.
Yeah.
So, and now I'm the one who's just like, yeah, he's my favorite character.
A lot of this, so much spoilers though, so I can't really.
Everything about him is
He's lived for over 300 years though.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
He's in Pied Piper.
His actual first appearance is Pied Piper, who used to be in politics, and he's actually kind of responsible for the Life Recycling Act.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's basically a terrible person even back then.
Yeah.
But he has reasons for everything he's doing. It's actually pretty sad when you think about it.
But he's still an asshole.
Yes, but he's still an asshole.
Yes. He is the biggest asshole. And
if it's not Wilhelm's fault, it's probably Uriah's.
I'm kind of verging into spoiler territory here, but I kind of want to just like briefly try and point this out in like a little spoilers as I possibly can. His whole story with Guinan, and I'm not going to say exactly what goes on there, but okay, so Xenosaga uses the Enneagram typing system for the personality types, which is really interesting. And for Guinan's specific layout, his type, what happens between him and Uriah is the
worst thing that
literally the worst, most fear-wracked thing that could happen to someone of his personality type.
Speaking of fear,
So the whole thing is set up to be this like perfect storm, and it's not immediately apparent when you play the games, but like if you do research on this psychology, it's like really, this setup is just really immaculate. And also the way that Guinan reacts to what goes on, because he gets really withdrawn and really secretive, is exactly how that type works. And they really make a point to like focus on that aspect of like how he's just hiding what happens from everyone.
speaking of fear, it's kind of basically his whole motivation because certain things happened 300 years ago, which I like to talk about a lot, but spoilers.
Yeah, we gotta get out of here before we get to spoilers.
It's kind of a joke that I talk about.
Unspeakable fear.
Transfer experiments.
He has some God issues.
Big God issues. God is terrifying people.
Oh, Alex.
My assistant chief. Alan! He is the normal guy. He is so normal. He doesn't want anything to do with this. He is getting dragged along through this whole thing. He's loyal and sweet though, and that's why he's there. He's kind of cowardly and kind of like, he wants none of this! His burning crush on Shion is the only thing that keeps him going, and he's basically a good person. It's slightly narrow, but his worldview extends, and he actually gets a lot of character development. Like,
He was awesome in 3.
yeah, you know, in episode 1, you look at Alan and you're like, you're just kind of there. But he actually gets a lot of growth. I was not expecting him to get that level of character growth that he really gets, especially in episode 3.
Yeah.
And even at the beginning of episode 3, too, you just see, because originally in episode 1, he's like, I don't want to be doing any of this. And he's saying like all these like horrible things about mutants and stuff. He's kind of just being like,
He gets called out on it.
He gets called out on it, so Shion's like, that's racist, Alan. But then in episode 3, you see him as a lot calmer. I mean, he's still really cowardly and at the beginning, but like, he's definitely more open-minded, and like, you really watch him grow. He's not in episode 2 a whole lot, but episode 2's kind of got cut short.
His
So.
junior one too.
So, Alan is great. We love Alan. Do you want to say anything, Bobby? Because I know he's your other boyfriend. Your husband, though.
Yeah, he with his growth, he just kind of goes from being very kind of cowardly just to kind of like being a lot more assertive, which I really like to see in him. And yeah,
He learns how to stand up for himself.
Chief, flack.
Yeah, be a man, Alan. The power of man. Shut up and shoot something.
and the power of love.
And the power of love. What's the Robot Academy thing? Like, love and courage. Love and courage.
That's actually how.
And that's literally what happened now.
Yeah, he was like, power of love, and she was like, what was that? Did you say something else?
Didn't he, Andrew?
What was that? And he was like, oh, you want to go on a vacation? And she's like, what?
Didn't he also enter combat for like 10
Yeah, he has
minutes?
like a crossbow thing, and he's like the worst character.
He's
Get him out of your party.
He's really good at breaking people, though, which is good.
Oh, really? Oh, I guess you knew it would be the one to use. I'm like,
because I used him and Ziggy. Of course, I have to have them in my same party.
right.
So I was like breaking. Who do you fight? Like, was it Virgil in that part that you fight?
Yeah.
It's Virgil.
You fight Paligri before you get Shion back.
Yeah,
You fight Paligri.
Yeah,
It's Paligri.
so I use it to break them and then kick your butt.
You were mostly using. I remember Jenna was just using that freaking choke move over.
Yes,
I hate that choke move. It makes me like squirt every time. I'm like, oh god, no.
My little icon was Ziggy choking one of the little oh, what was it? It's one of the UTIC things, the mask, and I wrote like Ziggy loves dangerous.
You guys all need to like rate her photo bucket for all of her old Xenosaga icons. They're the best.
Actually, I had them up on my old my site's kind of down and wrong, but they're still up there. All my hundreds and hundreds of cracks in
You set them all to be like right after OhioCon.
Yes.
I was just like, sitting on my laptop just in tears. It was so great.
I'm the queen of Xenocrack.
Yeah, so that's all we do when we talk on Facebook. We just like scream about like dick grates and stuff.
Oh, wow. Wow.
The Elsa crew. At first they're like, ew. They're really slimy and indebted to the Kukai Foundation.
I would get it back.
And you're like, are they